Good evening, folks. It's Sunday evening, so it's time for That Was the Week That Was, the weekly roundup of the life of a tramp in Torrevieja. That's me, Delta Mike, and the channel is Down and Out in Torrevieja with Delta Mike. Okay, folks, first things first. To you guys, the subscribers, cheers. 90 of you now. 90 subscribers. Thank you so much. And we're going to push onwards, and hopefully this time next week we'll be significantly above the 100. If you're feeling left out because I didn't do cheers to you, if you're not a subscriber, you might want to think about that. It's easy for you to solve. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, rewind the video, play it again, and when you see me saying cheers to the subscribers, that'll include you. There you go, problem solved. Get on it. At least think about it. I don't tell people to subscribe, generally. But think about it, consider it. It's an option. Okay, folks, where do we begin? I guess we have to look at kind of the catastrophe that was last week's video. Having to record and re-record bits, having to do things on 2 different days and interweave them. The past Delta Mike and the future Delta Mike. It's a silly contrivance. I'll try not to let it happen again. It's a little bit of fun, but hopefully we don't get the technical difficulties that made it a necessity. So yeah, Sunday was a bit of a disaster. Monday, let's start the week there. Monday, quiet day. In fact, it's been a quiet week, but we'll try and do these things in turn. Stayed in the camp, sat under a tree, the same tree that we talked about in last week's show, and basically just tried to stay out of the damn heat. And on an evening, recorded the second half. You know, I was future Mike on future Delta Mike on Monday evening, and then Monday night I just had to try and do the editing, try and make sense of it all, try and weave the bits together. Try. So Tuesday, another day, not wanting to go anywhere, wanting to just stay out of the heat. Stayed in the camp, tried to just stay centrally within the camp, but the heat got too much, so it's back under the tree for the afternoon and into the early evening. Tuesday night, finishing the editing. Like I said, it went on. There was so much to do, so much footage to go through, as well as editing the main show. That was the week that was. I also tried to use or to identify areas, sections that could be clipped, pieces that could form standalone videos, shorter videos. I'm a little bit disappointed with myself and with the results. I'll work on it. Wednesday was an interesting day for multiple reasons. So overnight, Tuesday into Wednesday, I uploaded the final cut of That Was the Week That Was, and set it on a timer to release in the afternoon of Wednesday. Now normally I've been releasing things in the morning, but I figure because I'm in the video, because I'm drinking alcohol and saying cheers to you guys, all of you, but the subscribers in particular. If you feel left out, you know how to fix that. Because I'm drinking in the video, I thought that late afternoon was a better choice for releasing. So people who watch it are either watching it late afternoon or in the evening, and maybe they sit back and kick back with a can of beer or a glass of wine themselves. That was my thought process. Now on this particular Wednesday, I was sat in a cave when that video went live. I'd uploaded it overnight on a timer, and so it clicked to go live. I think it was 3 in the afternoon. And I said last week that I'd met a couple of guys who were living in caves on the seafront, and I went to visit them this week on the Wednesday. I had some food here, um, not necessarily going spare, but I had some bits that I had more of than I needed. I got 11 or 12 jars of the white beans, 5 or 6 cartons of chickpeas. And these guys are living with nothing. They're in a cave in caves, plural, on the seafront. Now they go begging. They go out, literally go out begging to get money to buy what they need. Something I haven't. Hell, can I say that still? Something I haven't overtly done. I haven't gone out with a bowl or a plastic beaker and sat outside a supermarket saying any spare cash, any spare cash. I know people have walked past here and have said hello and then come back and given me things to help, offered things. People have asked me, what do you need? And on occasion I've mentioned items that would be useful. So I certainly skirted the issue. I'm kind of e-begging, I guess. I have a PayPal account. Thank you to those of you that have sent a few euros, pounds, dollars. Thank you. Details, click the little word where it says more underneath this video for the description, and the links are in there. So I am begging myself, but I'm not doing the sitting outside a supermarket. Whereas these guys have got no other option. They don't have the technology for doing YouTube videos, or the knowledge of the skills with one of them does have a phone, but it's not their thing. So I guess I'm begging my way, they're begging their way. But, they're living in a cave. So I shared a little bit of what I've got. I took down a carrier bag of, a shopping bag with some bits and pieces. Onions, potatoes, carrots, a couple of jars of the white beans. I think 1, maybe 2 chickpeas. And I also took a bag of wood. Because since I've had the gas stove here and the gas barbecue, I've only had a wood fire here maybe 2, 3 times in the past 2 months. And those would be, you'll have seen the videos, those are me cooking stews and things where the gas is too expensive to just run for an hour or 2 hours while you're making a 3-day stew. So when I've cooked, I've got things going, the initial frying off of the veg or things, do that with the gas and then switch over to a wood-powered, fire. But I haven't done that much, and now that we're in midsummer, it's probably not a good idea here. I'm in a field, there's long grass, it's brown, it's drying out. 1 or 2 embers in the wrong direction could be, it's dangerous. Now where they are, they're on stones. They're literally between a rock and a wet place, aren't they? I gotta stop coming up with this crap that I took off the cuff. I was going to say between a rock and a hard place, but then I realised they're in a cave and they're next to the sea. But either way, it's kind of it's fireproof. The fire is not going to spread from where they are. They're not going to cause a forest fire or they're not going to burn a field down. So I took them a bag of wood. Spent the day there in the cave this Wednesday. Spent the day there. About 4 o'clock onwards, I'm checking the stats, see how the video's doing. And I think it did a little bit better than previous weeks. It certainly did better on the watch time. Everyone who watched it for that little bit longer. For the first day, everyone who watched it, the average was over 20 minutes of watch time, which is crazy compared to previous videos. So I must be learning something. But then again, the video was an hour and a half, so you're still not watching that much. See my little rant video. I released. We'll come to this in a day or two, but I did a little rant. I think it might be more than a minute, but less than 2. Just look for YouTuber's Rant if you're looking at a list of my videos. So yeah, I was checking my stats. I was sat there. We had a good chat. We sat and we just spent the day, spent time. And I came back here and it was dark when I got back. When I got back to the camp, it was really late. I mean, it must have been 11 o'clock or so. But we didn't eat. We didn't eat. So came home after 11. But here's the thing: I came home with as much food from them to come back here as I'd taken. While we were there, they went off and left me in a cave for an hour or so. They went begging. And when they came back, they brought loads of food with them, which they then, hey, do you want this? Do you want this? How about some of that? And they just filled a shopping bag. And I came home with a... So I started the day taking a shopping bag full of food to them. And I ended up coming home with a shopping bag of food. Different food. The profits of their begging. Yeah. Now, it'd been a long day. Been a long day. And that night, I wanted to sit down and edit some more videos. Like I said, I went through, when I did the longer video, I went through and made a list of bits that can be clipped out. Or bits that might be able to be clipped out for smaller videos. And I wanted to spend some of the night. The night times are my kind of most productive time. Once the sun's out and it starts to cool down, I'm generally awake while, I don't know, 2 in the morning minimum. Sometimes 3, sometimes 4. So anyway, there I am, just come back from a day in the cave. I want to achieve things that night, and I just flake straight out. I just fall asleep. And sleep straight through. It's not like I even woke up at kind of 4 or 5 or 6 in the morning and could do anything in the morning. I just slept straight through. So that was Wednesday over. So that brings us to Thursday. Yeah. So like I said, the day before, on the Wednesday, when the video released, it was doing excellently. It had a click-through rate of 20%. That means every time that video was shown to someone as a possible video for them to watch, 20% of people clicked through to watch it. And on average watched 20 minutes. Some will have watched, 2 or 3 minutes. Some will have watched 40 minutes or more. But 20% click-through rate, and on average 20 minutes watched. And overnight, YouTube tanked my results entirely. What should be a good thing when they start releasing the video more widely, showing it to thousands of people as an option. But of course it depends which people they're showing it to and offering it to. And what happened was they offered it further afield to a few thousand people, and they managed to get the click-through rate down from 20%. Pick a number now. Guess how low do you think they got it to go? From 20%, what are you thinking? 10%? 5% of people clicking through? 1%. Instead of 20% of people watching that video, 1% of people. And they were only watching it for moments. 1, 2, 3 minutes. So it's obviously just not the right audience, not the right group. This all-powerful algorithm, all this artificial intelligence you hear about, trying to match up viewers with videos, trying to maximise the audience and the view time for things. So that was a little bit disheartening, especially to just wake up and find that. Start your day. You're supposed to start your day with a couple of successes. This is why people make their bed in the morning. It's a routine to make your bed. So you've started your day, you've achieved something, you've knocked an item off your to-do list kind of thing. You've immediately started with a success. I woke up and started the day gutted, with a fail. So this is when I set about making these smaller snippets, these smaller videos. And one idea I had was to take the first 5 minutes of the show and crop that off as a separate introductory video. Put a little explanation before it and a thing at the end saying, hey, you've just watched the first 5 minutes, now go and watch the full episode. And as well as that, I took excerpts from you know, a few other little bits and pieces. Friday. This one's a bit different. I was having a quiet day, and then I looked at the date, and it was Friday the 14th of July. Now the 14th always clicks with me, whatever month, because my journey here began on the 14th of August last year. That's when the friend that I'd been staying with finally kind of had enough of me and asked me to, you know, to step out of the house and not come back. So whilst I was technically already homeless, I'd been evicted from my apartment illegally a few months earlier. I'd at least had a roof over my head until this point. So the 14th of August is a kind of monumental date. Now the 14th of July, that's 1 month to go, isn't it? We're 1 month away from it being the anniversary of me being truly homeless. And that's when I had the idea of kind of a challenge. Well, it didn't start that way. Let's backtrack a second. What I thought was, I'd already told people, I'd already put it out there that I wanted 200 subscribers before I would do a live stream, and I would answer these questions that people bring up every now and again, wanting to know about my background. Who am I? What have I done in life? And what led to me being an Englishman living in a field in Spain with a dog. So I want to answer those questions, kind of. There'll be some things I still keep private because life's like that. But people ask, and I want to kind of be as open as I can be. And so I'd previously set this target of 200 subscribers before I do a live stream. And that's based on the fact that you want to have between 30 and 50 people as a minimum present in a live stream, typing and asking questions, and for that live chat to at least seem active. Has to at least look, you want to look back on your first live stream and think, hey, some people showed up, people were available, you did it at the right time, and enough people turned up to make it worthwhile. So my thoughts are, if I have 200 subscribers and a third turn up to watch that live stream, that's 60 or 70 people. Half of them are not going to take part in the chat. You know, most people are just lurkers, they'll just watch. And that's okay. But at least there'll be 20 or 30 people active in the chat. That's better than nothing. That should be good enough. So I'd previously set this target of 200. But then I realised, damn, in 31 days time, it'll be the anniversary of being homeless. And wouldn't it be good to do something to mark the anniversary? And I thought, well, do I move the live stream? Do I move the goalposts? Do I just do it on that anniversary, come what may? Or do I stick with my original target? I thought, well, I can combine both. I'm like that. There's a certain synergy. 1 + 1 = 3. If I can do both at once, if I can achieve 200 subscribers by the time that it's my anniversary of becoming homeless, then it's kind of a win-win-win. I meet all the goals. I get to do a live stream on the anniversary. I get to do a live stream for having 200, marking the occasion of having 200 subscribers. And the channel benefits because, getting from, I was on 80-something, 83 or 4 when we announced this. Getting from 84 to 200 is quite a leap. That's a lot to achieve in 1 month. But if you guys can help, if you can share these videos, and what I'm going to do over the next days, I'm going to give you pointers on how you can do that and which videos to share. I figure if I can highlight to you guys, to the subscribers, if I can highlight the 10 or so best performing videos, the ones that have been viewed the most or liked the most, or the ones that brought in the most subscribers, then those are my most successful videos. Those are the ones most likely to to appeal when seen by a new audience. Logic. I think so. I think that's logical. So I'd like you guys to be pushing these videos out there, sharing them, telling other people about them. Just signaling to YouTube, hitting the thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up icon underneath there. If you like the video, don't just robotically hit it just because I say so. If you like the video, if you're enjoying the content, then please consider hitting the like button. Likewise, anybody out there that hasn't subscribed yet, why not? It's free. I copied that from another guy. I'm having a laugh. But it is. Some people who aren't online a lot, they see that subscribe button and they think it means a payment. It just means, it's like bookmarking it. It's like saying, hey, I want to see these videos again in future. I want to see the next video this guy does, and the one after that. All of the videos. I want to watch all these videos. Now you're thinking correctly. So this was my thought process on Friday. Let's do a 31-day challenge. And let's see whether we can get to 200 subscribers or not by the 14th of August. Noon on the 14th of August is my... Was it noon? It might have been 11. I think it was 11 in the morning. Oh, now you're making me think. It was 11 o'clock in the morning that I was given my fighting, yeah. I don't want to... I was staying with a friend. I obviously outstayed my welcome. I had nowhere else to go. Oh, how much do I want to say now? I don't. We're going to leave that. We're going to leave that for the live stream, the details. I don't want to waffle on too much. This is for the 200 subscriber episode, which hopefully will also be the anniversary of me being homeless. We'll talk about all this then. Okay, so this was my primary thing on the Friday, coming up with this idea, and then doing a little video and telling everyone about it. And I think I already said at the beginning of this, we're on 90 subscribers now. So we've already up kind of almost 10% from Friday to Sunday. I think we were at 83, maybe, I don't know, because these things, they come in little runs. When I went to bed, was it last night? I went to bed and we were on 87. And then I woke up at 2 or 3 in the morning and was on 90. And when I'm looking through the little app you've got, YouTube do a creators app, an app for the statistics and for things for people who are making the videos. I'm looking through that trying to find which video brought in. Sometimes you release a new video and 3 or 4 people see that video and subscribe, all in the same video. And you can see where people are coming in. I've got no idea where these guys came from. They weren't there, then they were there, and I can't find a record of what video attracted them, or which videos. Anyway, onwards and upwards. I want you guys to help me. In particular, my subscribers. Cheers to you again. By the way, the beer comes courtesy of Damian. Tonight's beer does. I had a delivery of food yesterday and I don't know who from. 2 carrier bags, 2 shopping bags. And in the bottom of one of the bags was 7 cans of beer. That was nice. So I had half of them in the afternoon and half of them at night. But late evening and then night. But today, the famous Damian just appeared. Oh, that man. So he bought me the cooking stove, the little gas stove. And he bought me my first 3 gas canisters, and I've bought 1 or 2 since then. But we were talking a couple of days ago, and he asked how I was for gas, and I said I was almost out. But I've got the money to go and get another one. And he arrived today with a gas canister and with a 12-pack of beers. Cheers, mate. I mean that literally. Cheers, mate. Brings me to my next thing that happened on Friday, really. In the afternoon. Not long after I'd done the video and released the... Because I filmed it and released it quite quickly, the 31-day challenge. I was kind of on a roll after releasing these shorts and these little snippets, these cut out excerpts from the longer video. So I filmed the challenge video and released it, and I don't know, maybe half an hour or an hour later, Damian arrived. And he brought me a few bits and pieces, you know, some pasta and some tomato frito, and oh, I struggle to remember everything. My mind gets clouded because, and I'm about to come to this, other people arrived the same day. But in amongst what he brought me two cartons of the red wine, the Card Bordeaux. I've got to learn to pronounce that more better. Card Bordeaux. Red wine in a cardboard carton. So he brought me a couple of those, which I thought those will get me through the weekend. That'd be nice. 2 of those, starting on a Friday, should get me through till Monday, maybe Tuesday. I don't know. Taken carefully, under doctor's orders. But then I got the 7 cans of beer yesterday, which I drank, as I said, half in the afternoon and half at night. But then he's just arrived with 12 cans, just half an hour before I start recording this, and the gas for the stove. He's going back home soon, going back to Ireland permanently. Gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss the stuff he brings me. Only joking, mate. I enjoy your company. Enjoy the chatting, the crack, as you would say in Ireland. I enjoy the crack. Yeah. Long pause, thoughtful pause. So he brings me this stuff, and then the flies start getting a bit bitey, like they are now. For the last couple of hours, there's been a lot of flies around, but certain times of night, that's when they start biting. Tina's over there now. She's trying to eat them. Every now and again, she actually gets one. So she'll snap at them. If she just snaps like that, that's her trying. She didn't get it. If she snaps and then spends 10 seconds chewing, I mean, she caught a fly. Bit of extra protein for the diet. She's a superstar. But the flies, what I'm saying is, Damian arrived on Friday, brought these things, left. The flies got a bit bitey while he was here, actually. He had to leave because of the flies. And we went inside and got in, even though it was still ludicrously hot. And about an hour later, a car pulled up on the little track here outside and pipped the horn. And it was my Ukrainian friends that hadn't been by for a couple of weeks. They're back. And just 1 bag of food this time. No overkill. Thank you, guys. I know you're watching. I know you'll be doing the translation-y thing. You'll be watching it being translated. Thank you. And I didn't mean any offence with my comments about bread apocalypse. It was just a little bit too much. But I appreciate you. And I know that you're back, and I know that you're watching the channel because of what you said about the car and the abandoned car with Ukrainian plates that drove away one day. So there we were. Damian brought things. My Ukrainian friends brought things. And that would be the end of Friday. I'm gonna have to check my notes, see what happened Saturday. Yesterday, as I call it. I've got no idea. What did I do? Leave it with me. My notes will refresh. Okay. I hit the button too soon there to start. I was still mid-word when I cut that out. Sorry about that. That guy that was just talking, he lied. That wasn't the end for Friday. Almost. The last couple of months, Friday night there's a program on YouTube on the channel Nerdrotic, like the word erotic with the first E replaced with the word nerd. I'm a nerd. I always have been. Computers, science, space, dinosaurs, all that good stuff. There's a program on the Nerdrotic channel called Friday Night Tights, where a bunch of guys, and occasionally the odd female, they do let some women in every now and again, but they get together and discuss film, cinema, TV, computer games, yeah, just pop culture. Not so much music. It crops up every now and again, but that's not really their beat. Film and TV predominantly, but computer games quite a lot as well. And I like that, but it's the highlight of my week to sit down. The time has varied over the months. It used to be 10:30 and always be late. It's kind of a running joke that they're always late. And they have a theme tune. A proper real singing artist did a theme tune for them, bringing all of these in jokes together within the theme song. It's a really good show. But for months I've been downloading it, so after the event I would wait till Saturday morning, then download it. So I do it on audio. Because I've downloaded it, I can turn the phone off once it starts playing and just listen to it rather than have the video playing. So I've been doing that for months. But I thought it would be really nice as a treat to myself to try and watch it live. Now this thing can go on anywhere between 3 and 5 hours. Normally, if I was doing something, if I was on the phone and like editing video or doing something, I could stay awake while 3 in the morning. Usually no problem at all. But nowadays I find if I'm just watching something, if I'm not doing, I fall asleep. I got about 1 hour into this thing and it's playing on my phone. Downloading and streaming. I hate streaming. Streaming means downloading and throwing away. I like to download and keep. To have it. You've downloaded it already. You've used the data. Why not keep the damn thing? To stream is to download and throw away. So if you set something going that's on for 5 hours and you fall asleep after 1 hour, you're downloading it for another 4 hours. And at the end of that, it's gone. So if you want to watch it again, or watch it because you didn't see it, you've got to go away and download it all over again. You see why that's a bit annoying? Especially if you've used to being on a limited budget in terms of your gigabytes and megabytes. But that was Friday. Friday Night Tights. Tried to watch it live. It's another failure from the Torrevieja Tramp. I tried. Just had to check my notes again. Cheers. Saturday morning. I was awake nice and early, before sunrise. So I went out and filmed sunrise, or tried. You be the judge of whether I succeeded or not. Go watch that video. Incidentally, all of the videos from this last week will be listed in the description of this video. Down below, where it says down and out with Delta Mike, down and out in Torrevieja with Delta Mike, next to that it says more, and that's the description. Click that little more, that little link. Then I'll have details of each of these days, and then there'll be a block where I'll list the videos from this week. So Saturday morning, sunrise, filming it, and I released it. I did a quick edit and released it straight away. And in my naivety, I thought people would watch like the 10 minutes, kind of 5 minutes, probably 5 minutes either side of the sun rising. Naivety or arrogance, I don't know. You see, because I've released all of these short videos through the week, 2 and 3 minutes long, that affects like the average of the channel as a whole. YouTube track how long your viewers are watching videos. You release an hour and a half long video and people watch 10, 20 minutes, maybe more. You release a 2 minute video, they can't watch more than 2 minutes, can they? And everyone who jibs out earlier and cuts out earlier brings that down. And if you get more people watching the shorter videos than you do watching the longer ones, it drags your average down. So in my kind of naivety, I thought a 10-minute video was a nice balance between it's not an hour or an hour and a half, but it's not just 2 or 3 minutes, which would damage my standing with YouTube. That was a thought process. Tina, what can you say? I thought that 10 minutes was a nice in-between amount. But I guess just watching waves and an indistinct little blob of light, not quite at the horizon. And it was a what I didn't account for, I guess. It was a little bit misty on the horizon. So you didn't actually see the sun coming literally over the horizon. You only saw it later when it got above the fog belt, the band of mist, and then the sun rose. And the other thing is maybe the quality of the camera on this phone. I don't know if I've had a few phones that have been like that. Things like the sun and the moon appear far smaller. They look further away and much smaller on the picture than they do in real life. If you watch that video, hang on for the end. Go and look at the sunrise video and look at the final 30 seconds or so. When I got back to camp, the sun was higher in the sky and was a glorious kind of oranginess. And that was superb. And it looks lovely and big on the pictures. So when it's at a certain size, it appears smaller, but it got to a certain size and it comes out looking kind of how it did in real life. I can't explain that. I don't know if that's an actual phenomenon. Maybe I'm just dreaming. Maybe I'm imagining it. But the shot over here, just past the tree that we sit under sometimes, it was phenomenal. But that was like an afterthought. That was because we'd gone to the coast, we'd gone to the shore, to the cliffs to video the sunrise. And then when we got back, we had a better view than we'd had, with the main mission. But we released that video, and even though it was only a 10-minute video, people were fast forwarding through it, skipping through it to get to the good bit until they could actually see the sun. Most people only watched less than 2 minutes of the 10-minute video. And I wondered whether maybe a musical accompaniment, a bit of, some kind of... So I've got underway, I didn't finish it last night, but I've got underway like a re-edit. The picture's no different. I speed it up in places, double speed, so that I don't take too much of everyone's time. Double speed on the video and with a musical track behind it. I don't know whether to release it or not. It's maybe still a bit too similar to the original video. But that was the first thing yesterday. Now after that we came back to the camp and just got in the tent because that was before 7 o'clock. We sat in the tent until maybe 9 when it gets too warm to stay in. And I went for water. And again, I've done that in the past, and it was part of a much larger video. And so I thought I'd film it again. The channel's bigger now, and do it as a separate standalone video. I filmed the first trip out and back, and then we went for a second. I can only carry 2. They're 8-litre bottles. They weigh 8 kilograms each. I can only carry 2 in a shopping bag, 2 at a time. So we did 2 journeys. Only filmed the first one. But we had an incident during the second one. And this shook me up a little bit. And I should know better. I've done this so many times in my life. Stepping in where angels fear to tread. Rushing in where angels fear to tread, I think is the correct quotation. I don't know who from or why. It sounds like a Shakespeare, but I don't know. I'll check. On the way back with the second trip, there was an argument going on the other side of the street. We're on this side of the road coming back, and on the other side of the road, there's 3 people arguing. Well, are they? There's a man got his hand around a woman's mouth, and his other hand is on her breast. He's standing behind her. And there's a woman, an older woman, shouting at them, or shouting at the young lady. What do you do? Is this a kidnapping? Is it sexual assault? He's literally got his right hand on her breast, and he's clasped his left hand around her mouth. What are you looking at? What do you do? I'll tell you what everybody else did. Everybody else walked on past, cycled on past, drove on past. They'd stop and they'd slow down, wonder what was happening, they'd all look, but nobody did anything. So I did. Nothing, not exactly the greatest intervention in the world. I stopped and I looked, I stared from over the road. And they spotted me. And the man looked right at me and carried on. They just carried on. He signalled to the older woman who looked around and looked, but then they just carried on with what they were doing. So I took out my phone and started to record. Because whatever this was, if it was something, I'd have a record. If it's nothing, I'd delete it or just ignore it. That's what I figured. Within about 10 seconds, they've stopped what they're doing, and the young woman starts to walk off with the fella, who it now looks like is her boyfriend, husband, whatever. And the older woman is the mother of one of the two, either the guy or the girl, the man or the woman. Probably. It's what it looks like now. And it's like, okay, family dispute in the road or in the, you know, whatever, no biggie. Forget it, move on. Oh no, they're not going to forget it. Why are you recording? They're shouting in Spanish. ¿Por qué se graba? You know, something like that. And then they start shouting that they're going to call the police. I'm like, you just had an argument in the street. Public disturbance that caused people to slow down and go up, and that caused me to stop and make sure. At one point, the older woman shouted, "Why are you recording?" And I tried to say, for her protection, for the young lady's protection. Por su protección, and pointed at the younger lady. Something like, my Spanish isn't great, but that would be para su protección. I said. Like I said, my Spanish isn't great, but that was my intention, to protect the younger lady. She's standing in the street, and somebody's got hold of her breast and he's muffling her. He's I don't know what I'm looking at. Yeah, it could literally, if a white van had pulled up and the girl had been thrown into the van, that would have been, you know, didn't know what I was looking at. I wasn't just going to walk on by like everybody else did though. Never have. It's got me in so much trouble over the years. Not just not walking on by, I actively move towards trouble. So often. So often, looking back. I wonder why other people don't. I don't understand other people. Anyway, the upshot is, this family follow me. They want to know what I'm doing and why I've recorded and why haven't I deleted they want me to show that I've deleted the recording and blah blah. I can only pick up bits of the Spanish. And in the end I tell them, look, it was in public, I can record. And público, puedo grabar. In public I can record. End of. And then I just, fin, and that's it. No, I don't want to hear any more. I can record if it's in public. You were in public. And I walk up to the road here and I come down this little track, and they're hovering at the end of the track. So I didn't cut into the field and come down and make it obvious that I'm the guy in the tent. I didn't want that trouble. So I carried on walking down the track, and I came in on the little back, on the little, I've shown it in videos before. It's where the water runs away. I came in there, stooped down so as not to be seen, got behind the tent, and we went straight into the tent. Cowardly or what? I just don't want the grief. So I was a little bit rattled, to be honest, because I know whenever you intervene in something like this, whenever you step in, that I've done it in the past when it's been a man battering his wife in the road. And the first thing that happens after you step in between them and maybe hit the guy or do what you need to do just to stop what's happening from happening, the first thing that happens is that the woman joins in with him and attacks you. So often. But some things you've just got to step into. If you don't actively step in, you have to at least stand back and watch and make sure that everybody involved is okay. I do anyway, this is what I do. Make sure other people are okay. But invariably, Well, it's not invariably, but it's greater than 50% chance that they're all going to turn on you. They kind of unify. It brings them together. They unite and turn on the outsider who's butting in where he's not wanted. So I got into the tent with Tina. It was getting warm. It was late morning by this point. And first thing I did was upload the video to YouTube. Not publicly. No editing, no nothing. Just uploaded it. Made it private so nobody can view it. And left it there. My thinking being that if anybody comes and makes me delete it, or if there's any trouble, there's a second copy out there in the cloud. Out on the internet. So that was that. A little bit of excitement for the morning. And after that, it just got hotter and hotter. So in the end, I packed a rucksack and we went to the park and spent the rest of the day in the park. Usual stuff. Recorded bits. Till we came home from the park. And I've already mentioned the fact that someone had delivered 2 bags of shopping. Told you that Damian brought food on Friday, and then my Ukrainian friends brought food on the Friday. But then Saturday somebody brought these 2 bags. Now there's one person it might be, but the contents of the shopping don't align with what they've brought in the past. So I'm unsure. There were things there that indicate it might be someone who's leaving the country. You know, things that are open. So I don't know if this is just a neighbour, a kindly neighbour who's dropped off, you know, what they've got in the house before they fly home, or if it's the person I'm thinking of who's been here a few times before with things. So, Saturday night in the tent. Saturday night, that's Big Clive Live. That's my entertainment. I've talked about Big Clive before. It's just a guy chatting, and his audience are typing questions and trying to take him down directions he maybe doesn't want to go down. Yeah, the guy's an electrical expert, touches on electronics as well. Has he got 1 million followers yet? I think he has. Well, he might be just under, but he's headed that way. He'll be there soon. Lives on the Isle of Man, but he's from Scotland originally. He's got an apartment in Glasgow, but he does his electrical thing with the Edinburgh Tattoo, which is where he's at the minute, starting to prepare for that particular show. But yeah, it's just a bloke talking about technical stuff with his audience trying to drag him off into. There's a lot of sexual innuendo in the Saturday Night Live, Saturday Night Clive. Unlike his main channel, which is just more professional, that's just his electronics and electrical work. But that was Saturday. So that brings us to Sunday, or as I like to call it, today. I don't know what I did today. Oh, I do. Itchy eye. I just forgot the biggest part of the day. So this morning I was doing a bit of prepping for this show, making the list of the videos, the name and the URLs, the name and the links for the videos that have been released this week. There weren't too many, and many of them are just little shorts. But if you check that down in the description where it says more, expand that, you can get links to all of the videos. Catch up on any that you've missed. Please, I need the viewing figures, I need the... And you can share them out to other people maybe, if you find any of them. There's a couple of them that are a little bit amusing, or I thought they were. There's one where this one didn't get much views. This one actually did horrendously. And it just tickles me. It's from last week's show. And it's where I said something like, we decided to go to the park. Who's this we? There's me and the dog. So if she doesn't decide, she doesn't. And I stopped myself. I caught myself kind of mid-sentence. We decided. No, I decided. She doesn't decide. Dad's in charge. Isn't that right, girl? She says yes. That's it. Just me being silly. I caught myself saying something stupid and then just did an ad hoc little A little bit of silliness with the dog. Well, she wasn't even involved. She was there. I mean, I was talking to her. You don't get to see her, I don't think. Nobody watched that one. I liked it. I thought it was funny. What do I know? I'm just a tramp. I live in a field, in a foreign country where I don't even speak the bloody language. Okay. So, preparing the list of links and making sure that the list of the notes that I refer to when I stop the video and go away to check my notes, I have to make sure those notes are actually there and comprehensive. Because I bloody need them. I can't remember from one day to the next, as you've seen. I couldn't remember today. So first thing this morning, preparing those. I was actually going to get up and go and film the sunrise again. See whether I could get a better take of it. But it was cloudy first thing. And that just didn't work out. Didn't do that. So, preparing notes. Then as it was getting warm here, as it was getting too warm, I decided we'd go for another Sunday morning dog walk. Do an extended walk with Tina. And I had no idea, there was no target in mind when I set off. I didn't know where I was going. Packed the bag, lots of liquids, make sure I had a little doggy bowl, collapsible doggy bowl. I made some sandwiches and off we went. Didn't know where we were going. So at each stage we'd get somewhere, we're going this way, we're going that way, this way, that way. We ended up repeating last week's walk, but then carrying on towards Torrevieja, to the Playa del Cura. Beach of, is that the beach of the Bishop? Not sure. It's one of the bigger beaches in the centre of town, just after some columns. I think they're replicas of columns built by the Moors. I don't think they're the originals. Everything's a reconstruction. But that's how far we walked, and then turned around and came back. So that was the main topic for the day. Hold on. Okay, so on the way back from the walk, I stopped off just briefly with one of the guys living in the caves. He was up on top on the cliffs above, and we just said hello. Tina said hello to his dog. And we headed for home. But when we got back here, it was still too bloody hot. I sat on one of the chairs on the top of the cliffs for an hour, maybe two, reading a book, and I kind of nodded off for a little bit. I had a little sleep on there. With a lovely breeze, the sea breeze just makes it so that you can, even though you're in the sun, you're not too hot because of the breeze. Got back here, and these trees, they stifle the breeze a lot of the time, depending on the direction. The air was so still here. As soon as we climbed up the bank, you know where we go down the steps, across and up the bank, as soon as we got up, you could just feel it baking up here. So hot. So, dropped off the rucksack, got a bottle of water, and just went and sat on the cliffs here, on the top here, for another hour and a half. Came back. As the sun goes round, we get a little bit of shade at this side of the tent, which is nice. So I was just sitting in the shade here, listening to Friday Night Tights that we were just talking about before. And along came Damian with the gas canister and the beers. Like I said, that was just maybe half an hour before I started recording this. I cracked open my first beer just to say cheers to you guys. So that's us up to date. That was the week that was. So guys, the push is on. We're on 90 subscribers now. We've got 29 days now, is it? From the Sunday when I'm recording this. Don't know the numbers exactly. Until August the 14th. Let's see if we can get to 200. I expect to hit 100 during this next week. By the time we're doing this, again, in a week's time, if we're going to meet the target, we need to be way above 100. But in the normal run of things, we're putting on between, well, it's getting larger and larger each week. Well, the general trend is for a larger number of new subscribers each week. I think this week was a little bit quieter because I didn't do many videos. The ones I did were short and didn't really get watched, or were exceptionally long and didn't get watched. That's why I'm trying to keep this one shorter. I think I've failed. I think I've waffled on too much. Maybe I can sort that in the edit, cut stuff out. But the chase is on. We've got until August the 14th to hit 200, and then we'll sort out a live stream. Okay, folks, thank you for sticking with me this far. None of you are here still, are they? I'm going to give a magic. We're going to give a word. What would be a suitable word? What would be a suitable word? It needs to be just something random. When you post your comments, post the word banana so that I know that you got to the end of the stream. Got it? Banana. Not bothered about the spelling. You can't really go too wrong. Okay, guys. Catch you next week, and I'll see you in videos between now and then anyway. Alright? That was the week that was. Delta Mike, out.